How does it feel when you treat me like you do?
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most memorable performances on Top of the Pops, specifically where the musicians actually played their songs.
And you laid your hands upon me and told me who you are.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Nirvana. Few artists defined the 90s like Nirvana did. When they had just become mainstream in 1991, they came onto the series. Their performance was amazing, but not because it was musically impressive. In fact, the opposite was true. The trio protested the miming policy by making it completely obvious that none of them were playing, while Kurt Cobain was actually singing, as you can clearly tell, since it sounds nothing like the original. Instead, he's doing a weird Morrissey impression, while the other two flail around wildly. At the song's climax, the stage is swarmed with fans, making arguably the greatest derailing of a performance in Top of the Pops history. Number 9. New Order.
Kicking off with New Order, playing live, singing live with Blue Monday.
One of the most infamous live performances was by New Order in 1983. They played their hit track, Blue Monday, and insisted they actually played it. At the time, they were pioneering a relatively new genre, so they were lacking in experience. This meant it turned into a disastrous performance, with a plethora of mistakes and technical difficulties. You can even see the members swearing as they messed their parts up. Despite the issues, it's on our list because it was a groundbreaking moment in Top of the Pops history. It's arguably the most endearing performance of the show, which would have taken tons of confidence to even consider.
And I thought I told you to leave me while I walked down to the street.
Number 8. The Nolans. This hit girl group sang almost all of their tracks live in their early appearances. This included performing I'm in the Mood for Dancing 4 times.
I'm in the mood for dancing, romancing.
The track is very vocally demanding, making it especially impressive how well they nailed it. Additionally, they're dancing the whole time. In total, they sang this tune on the series 5 times between 1979 and 1981. Not all of their performances were live though, quite a few were mimed. This track was easily their most popular, which was always sung straight from the heart. Barely any artists showed this much dedication to their songs in the series as the Nolans. Number 7. Blur.
This went straight to the number 1 this week. Blur are Top of the Pop.
This rock band was immensely popular during the 90s. They featured on the series a whole bunch of times, but mostly mimed. Towards the end of the 90s, live performances became increasingly common, and they played their hit track Beetlebum live in 1997. It was the second time the song was featured, but it was the show's only live version of it.
And when she lets me slip away.
Of the two performances, the live version is far more enjoyable to watch. One reason is that the other ones are all overtly mimed, with acoustic guitars being played without anyone on stage even holding one. Number 6. Billy Bragg.
Well, now, it's
took me 3 listens before I really understood this song. This really is an evocative song. Live in the studio, would you welcome Billy Bragg and Between the Walls.
In 1997, Bragg began his musical career primarily writing folk music. In 1985, he was invited onto Top of the Pops, where he made the unique decision to perform live.
I was a miner, I was a docker, I was a railwayman.
The song played was Between the Wars, a track protesting the 80s miners' strike. According to Bragg, the audience was instructed to wave their hands while he sang. Bragg decided this would be too distracting, so he asked them to ignore the director's decision.
As times got harder, I looked to the government to help the working man.
Despite the quality of the performance, Bragg wouldn't return to Top of the Pops until 1991, but that time he ended up miming instead. Number 5. Oasis.
Oasis are next, not a palm tree in sight, a very strong message, live forever.
Pretty much all fans of this show will know about the time Oasis made a mockery of the miming rule. The Gallagher brothers famously swapped places and messed around the entire time. It might then surprise you to learn that their first 2 appearances weren't mimed. In 1994, they played both Live Forever and Shaker Maker, and they were both iconic. Of the 2, we prefer the rendition of Live Forever. The Gallagher brothers returned loads during the 90s, but wouldn't play live again on the show until 2009 as part of a comic relief special.
Oasis and Live Forever, that's the highest new entry, number 10, what a result.
Number 4. John Lennon, Yoko Ono and the Plastic Ono Band.
This karma's gonna get you, gonna knock you right on the head.
This was the first time a Beatle came onto the show alone, with Lennon being joined by his wife, Yoko Ono, alongside the Plastic Ono Band. They performed Instant Karma in 1970, which was a brand new single at the time. It was so new, Lennon hadn't even recorded a video. Everything was mimed during this performance, except for Lennon's vocals and the crocheting Yoko seems to be doing. For some reason, she also has her eyes covered up with what many assumed was a napkin. According to a producer, it was, in fact, a sanitary towel, but this revelation only adds to the confusion. Number 3. David Bowie.
Know what time it was and the lights were low. I leaned back on my right.
It's easy to assume Bowie was already a star when 1972 began. He'd already released 4 albums by then, including his now iconic Hunky Dory. Well, he was largely considered a one-hit wonder for his 1969 track, Space Oddity.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us.
This Top of the Pops performance arguably changed everything, propelling him into the spotlight. He did a phenomenal job singing Starman in an iconic outfit.
Use it, let the children use it. Let all the children boogie.
It was his 3rd appearance, and his first with live vocals, although the instruments were all mimed. In the following months, Bowie became so popular, even his weird tracks like The Laughing Gnome ended up making it onto the charts. Number 2. Iron Maiden. Miming songs is a practice that doesn't feel particularly metal. Iron Maiden were pioneers of the genre when it was still young, and firmly believed in this idea. When they were invited onto the show for the first time in 1980, they mimed everything except vocals. When asked again in 1985, they were popular enough to demand to be allowed to play everything live. They then nailed an incredible performance of Running Free entirely live. They managed to display more energy than the majority of bands on the series, all the while shredding the parts perfectly. Number 1. Kate Bush.
But did you always want a musical career in spite of all those qualifications?
Yes, I did. I've always wanted to be involved in music. I never thought I'd actually be able to sing my songs, but it seems that I've done it.
Few British artists are as widely praised as Kate Bush. Her debut single, Wuthering Heights, was released in 1978, and she played it on Top of the Pops that same year. If you're a fan of hers, you'll be able to instantly tell it was a live performance, as her dancing would be far less tame if it weren't. The tune was featured 7 times on the show, with Bush playing it live 4 of those times. For some reason, the audience doesn't at all look enthusiastic during her first show. They were probably just too blown away by what they were seeing to remember to dance. Were there any especially impressive performances we didn't include? Let us know in the comments below.